And now we have presentation from our own past governor Ravi Vadlamani on the efforts. You know a lot of work he has done, but I would like to make a presentation of.
PDG Ravi Vadlamani is a practicing chartered accountant who joined Rotary Club of Guntur in 1984 and became its president in 1988-89. He has received the Service Above Self Award of Rotary International, Certificate of Meritorious Service and Distinguished Service Award from the Rotary Foundation and also the Regional Polio Award. He has been awarded an honorary doctorate by Acharya Nagarjuna University for social work. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome past District Governor Ravi Vadlamani.
Thank you, family of Rotary, Chairman PRID Sushil, and my illustrious panel. I don't have the luxury of coming from IIT, so I will not have a lot of figures in my presentation. I will perhaps talk from the heart. It will be a little emotional, and I would want you to listen with the heart, and I would also want you to think with the heart. On that note, friends, let's all raise our hands and show our total literacy sign. We know this sign? The right hand, because it says L for literacy and total literacy. And I hope you will understand which is the most important finger in this. And that comes for C, child development. And today I am going to unveil and talk to you about the child development program of what we think that Rotary India should do, and also perhaps talk to you about some of the components of the child development. And as we go by, I will touch on a few issues on the children at risk, the migrant children, the children of the under trials, the children of the sex workers, but more importantly, because these are all urban related and we're talking about Pan-India and Rotary India, I'll perhaps dwell most of my presentation on child labor eradication, where each one of us has a very critical role to play. But we all know now that the most important critical component in our teach mission is child development. You know why? Because child development needs that little bit extra work. It needs more determination, more passion, more compassion, more commitment, and more dedication to do child development. So today, my friends, I will quickly go through some of the basics. All right, now special emphasis on overall inclusive growth is what we are talking about. We're talking about children of prisoners, children of sex workers, children of migrant workers, and children at risk. But more importantly, we're also talking about child labor eradication, and that's where I wanted to dwell today, a little bit of my presentation, and perhaps take you through slides, but as I told you, I will perhaps speak from the heart. So who is responsible for this child labor? And what is child labor? The definition just says that, child labor is one who works for work, and below less than 15 years. The act says 15 years. If it is, if we are talking about industries which are hazardous, it says 18 years. But forget the act. Who is a child labor? I think a child labor is a child who is just out of school. So the fundamental principle all of us should remember is any child out of school is a child laborer. Be that be is working in industry, be that be is working in a service industry, be that be is working in agricultural industry, anywhere he works. And some of the statistics are alarming statistics are there. I'll just try and see. I don't want you to see those definitions. Don't look at those. These are all child labor. What can you do? We have 225 million child laborers across the globe. Friends, each of us perpetuate child labor because we are not sensitive to child labor. As we come to this venue, you're coming in a car, picture this and think with your heart. There are one red signal and there's this child labor coming up and selling you a newspaper. you buy that newspaper. And the next signal, somebody comes with a nice aeroplane for your grandson, you buy that aeroplane. And the next signal, there is a street urchin asking you for alms, you quickly pull down the window, put 10 rupees and say, I'm feeling so good. My good day, my good deed is over. These are our child labor. We are totally, each of us is totally insensitive to child labor, friends. And this is where I want you to think with the heart. And when I close this presentation, I'm going to give you some easy tips onto how to eradicate child labor. But before that, let's talk about how, as Rotary World, we can eradicate child labor. How each one of us can join hands together in eradicating child labor. Fundamentally, we must understand what is child labor. We must inform ourselves what is child labor. We must sensitize ourselves what is child labor. We must know the facts what is child labor. And then we must fight and say that no, we must not have child labor. You know, what we call as a scream method. Let us all scream and say, let us stop child labor. Scream. You don't know how to scream? I am screaming. Let's scream. Stop child labor. All right, that's the fundamental thing. First, we have to do that. We must internalize that desire. Then, reject all products produced by any kind of businessman which are produced by child labor. Reject them. Socially boycott all those products. That is the second step. I know it's tough, but recruit others in this mission. Rotary everywhere can recruit others because we have acquired expertise in social mobilization. We have acquired a lot of skills in social mobilization. So let us all involve them, involve the public, and then sensitize the public in eradicating child labor. Then, of course, what we call as support programs of bridge schools. Raji is me are running a child labor eradication school from the last 10 years, and we have eradicated almost 300 child laborers. Some of them are doctors, some of them are lawyers, some of them are advocates, and one is also a chartered accountant. So what we call as catch, counsel, communicate, and sensitize and put them in schools, supports bridge schools. And this is very important as we move on to child labor eradication. Link with others, friends. No organization, however big we are, no organization, however resourceful we are, can eradicate child labor by itself. So we must link with others, and we must think that, there is a portal called 12 to 12. Go into that portal, you will find you can actually give your awareness ideas on child labor eradication. Friends, few human rights abuses are so widely condemned, yet so widely practiced. Let us make child labor a priority, because a child in danger is a child that cannot wait. Let every child go to school. That should be our non-negotiable principle. Every child should go to school. Education, our key strategy to eradicate child labor. Migrant children, we have a lovely program. Start schools at the building areas. This is an urban problem. Start schools. What we did was, we started a school called School on Wheels. This school goes to the construction areas, takes the migrant children, and these migrant children are actually sensitized to school going. For 6 months, this bus goes there, teaches them for 6 months, and then integrates them into the main school. So this is how we tackle the migrant school. Under trails. Under trails is a huge problem. There are close to 20,000 under trails in this country, and they are all women under trails. And out of the 3 lakh under trails in this country, 60 to 70% can go free tomorrow. Look at that. Their children will remain as children whose parents went to jail or in jail. So friends, this is a little tougher subject, but we have to handle it if we have to do child development. And similarly, children of sex workers. On that note, friends, let us all eradicate child labor, join hands together to eradicate child labor, and do remember that C is the most important component of our total literacy mission. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ravi, for very passionate presentation. But Ravi is always very passionate, he's a dynamo. Whatever work you give him, he does it forcefully and in a style.